Today we're going to talk about things that I enjoyed in 2022. I think it is really, really important to look back and reflect on where you have been. Hey Lulus, my name is Queen. I'm the founder of Vixen. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Today we're going to talk about things that I enjoyed in 2022. I think it is really, really important to look back and reflect on where you have been. And I figured that I'll do that with you. We're only going to do pop culture events. We're not going to do any of my personal business because I don't do that here. But I hope you enjoy the things that I enjoyed in pop culture as well. We're going to start with some announcements. So on Patreon, I released a new podcast episode. And on that episode, I am talking about my natural hair journey. So I'm talking about my hair traumas. I'm talking about my hair wins. I'm talking about my hair losses. I'm talking about the insecurities I've had with my hair and where I am now with my hair and the relationship that I have with it currently. So patrons, you already got that. If you want to become a patron, the link is down below to listen to that podcast episode. Now, I wrote a little list of the things of the 2022 in pop culture that I really, really enjoyed. The Renaissance album. That album, there's just no words for that album. It was just amazing, and every time I listen to the album, it gets better and better and better. And I don't have Spotify, I have Apple Music, so I don't get that Spotify rap stuff y'all get, and I'm actually jealous I don't get it because y'all look like y'all be having fun, and I want to have fun too. Apple Music does have a bootleg version of it's called The Replay, and it basically just shows all the music that you've listened to the most in the year, and it makes a playlist. And every single song from the Renaissance album is on my list, and at the top of the list, because they're my most played songs of the year. Mind you, the album didn't even come out until July. It's the second half of the year. Second half. I was listening to mad music at the top half of the year, but Beyonce still came in and took over. I did have a video on the channel discussing the album with Dr. Money. We were talking about some of the concerns we have about with straight cis het people indulging in queer culture or whatever the fuck. It's a really interesting conversation, and I think it makes sense to have critical conversations about even your faves, and we did that. So I will have that conversation in the description box if you missed that, because that conversation was bomb. Hey, why does it look weird? Gotta show the drip. Gotta show the drip. Do I have a favorite song on the Renaissance album? I do not. They're all great. I love the... There's one song I do not like. I do not like Church Girl. I still do not like Church Girl. I don't understand. It sounds like noise, but whatever. Y'all have fun. Y'all enjoy. I'll go get the drinks. That's what I'll do in that song. It's not really my cup of tea. But that album definitely takes the cake. Still no visuals, but people have been making their own visuals. We have even been making our own dance. The cover challenge is cute. I even did it with my family. Thank you, Beyonce, my favorite black femme, capital.
Richard! Oh, wow!
And it's probably a little controversial, but I don't care. Is that Will Smith slap at the Oscars? I don't care. That shit was still funny to me. Still funny to me. Chris Rock is fine, so I can laugh. That slap. I just never seen anything like that on live television. That was actually my first time watching the Oscars because I'm not really a huge movie watcher, so I've never really engaged. And it was really funny to watch her act a fool after that slap. Only one person was harmed during that slap, Chris Rock. But for some reason, it seems like miles and miles of people were harmed during that slap. And I actually saw King Richard, the movie, later. I haven't seen it before. I saw the movie while on a flight. And in that movie, Will Smith, playing Venus and Serena's dad, was going around just telling people what to do and who it is and who you're going to respect. So now I kind of have more insight as to why Will Smith was on that night. Because for months and months and months, he was going around on some like respect me stuff. So maybe you know how they say actors kind of become the role they're portraying. I think he was still acting like King Richard in that moment. That's the context that got added when I watched that movie. It was ridiculous to see all of the fallout of that. It was ridiculous also for me to see that people saw that as a time, or championed that as a time of like protect black women, and it's like the only black woman who was protected in that moment was Jada Pinkett Smith. And we all know how desirability works. Jada Pinkett Smith looks like the woman, the black woman that people protect. Lots of us do not look like the black woman that people protect. So that's not what that was. And it also made people talk about violence. People like to avoid to talk about that. I think it is an important thing to talk about because people respect violence. And we need to be honest about that. That was my other favorite thing of 2022.
Hey, little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry.
Wakanda Forever, like dead ass, that movie was beautifully done. Beautifully made. I did a review of the movie on a Patreon for my podcast, He's Clean and Jay. And we talked about just the way in which they handled grief and mourning and didn't make it peaceful and colorful because grief is not cute. I have been experiencing grief this whole year myself. So it was nice to see like a very honest portrayal of the different stages of grief that most of us interact with but don't want to be honest about. Grief is not cute. Grief is not linear. Grief, it comes and goes. Like it can look sporadic. It can look peaceful. It can look like all kinds of things. So that's something I really, really liked in that movie. I liked their attempt to be a lot more diasporatical and out in the Caribbean, which has been left out a lot in that whole dynamic. I did hear they didn't actually shoot in Haiti, which is like, but that's for another conversation. I also like the black woman. I like that I got to see a movie where I was just rooting for black women and rooting for dark-skinned black women specifically, because that's not something that happens commonly. So I really enjoyed that movie. Thank you. If you have not seen Wakanda Forever, get up out your seat and go watch that movie. I'm not a Marvel person. I just like seeing black people. And if that is a basic analysis on why I like this movie, then I'm just going to be basic about it. Just see it. Beautiful movie. And I like the way that they honored Chadwick Boseman in that movie in that way. Amazing. Something else I really, really enjoyed for 2022, and it actually recently happened, and I did not think it was going to happen because I do not believe, or I do not have faith, and I do not have trust in anything with, the United States, with America. I don't. I live here, but I don't really.
What's your mood?
Happy.
Well,
Do you know where I'm heading to?
no.
No?
No. Улетите домой.
You fly back home.
Brittany Griner is home. Brittany Griner is home. And that's just like, I did not think that was going to happen. I really imagined that I would be, for the next 9 years, because that was her sentence at a penal colony in Russia. I thought that 9 years from now, she would come out. Because I just really did not believe that they would trade to have her come out. Because she is a black lesbian woman, and we already know that the more identity markers you add to yourself, the more marginalized you are. So I did not believe that would happen, and it was just so spectacular to see that happened. I don't care that she was traded for an arms dealer. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember what that man's name is. I do not care. The United States of America is the largest arms dealer in the world, so I give no, the words about that. I don't care. So I really am happy that she is home. I do want us to remember and not forget that the reason she was playing basketball in Russia is because WNBA players are severely underpaid. This is a wage issue. This all started from unfair wages. This is a labor issue, and although she is a WNBA player and makes more money than me, that does not mean that she should not be advocated for. All people who are underpaid should be advocated for. So I want to make sure that that doesn't get lost, and that we remember that this started because of wage disparity. So I'm going to close with that. I did want to do a short, cute video. Those are the things in 2022 that really, really made me smile, really, really made me feel good in a pop culture world. I'm sure you have yours also. So if you have those, please leave those in the comments. I want to see your moments. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please let me know what was your favorite things of 2022. And as always, you are a bad bitch. You are enough. Stay fly, and I will see you in the next one. I love that dog meme. Have y'all seen that dog meme? Y'all seen that on TikTok? It's cute. It's cute.